This is part 3 Angular 14 series. So in this series I will explain how do we design the login page along with validation of that login page. So then let's get started. So in this and also I will explain in this video how do we change the page title while we are navigating from one page to another page, or maybe during page load, whatever page is loading in that time, so that page title will be changed in the address bar. Okay, I mean browser address bar. So and also I'm going to add one more option, that is called add remember me option, where if user select that option, so system will remember the username, you know and other metadata details. So that I'm going to explain. Okay, so now go to okay. So earlier in a video, part 2 video, I have explained the how do we create the folder structure for account layout, and how why we need this pages folder, and how do we create the module. Those things I already explained. If you are newer in this video, in this series, please go through my previous video. Okay, so now and also for this part I have created the branch login design validation. So whatever I will discuss today, so this will be available in my git repository in this branch. Okay, so let me start this application first. Select the command prompt and type ngs center. Now successfully application is running. Now go to the browser and type here localhost 4200. Then earlier, okay, let me increase the browser font size. So earlier at this moment account works, that means account master page has been working, I mean it is working, and login content also is coming inside this page. So now if I go do the inspect, I can show you this is the my master page component. Okay, this is also, let me increase. Okay, this is app component, that means master layout component, and with the help of routing we are rendering the app login component here. Okay, so this is the content of that app login component. So let me design this page. For time being, I have already done. So I have piece of code, this HTML for this account layout, and now go to that account layout page. Okay, paste it. So all the classes has been actually used from the bootstrap pipe. And now go to the take the piece of styles code also, and paste it inside this layout component as CSS file. Now save this. How it looks like, let me see. Okay, so this would be the final look for the layout, and inside this login works, that text is coming. Now if I take the design for the login as well, copy this and paste it over here. You can design from your side, whatever design you would like, and save this in the browser. Now see, this would the design let me just a little bit decrease the screen size. Okay, so this would be, look and feel for the login page. Now if I go inside that, forgot password, then the below side you can see, bottom left hand side bottom bar, it is showing like, account slash forgot password. This would be the URL for the forgot password. If I go inside that, then the forgot password, form design would be present. So that I will explain in upcoming video series. So here I have added, the remember me option. While user click on this remember me, so system will, at least, remember the email address which he or she has provided during the login time. Okay, next time it won't ask you. Okay, now and this is the footer area and this is the header part. Okay, so I will show you the design. So I have segregated through the element. This is the header part and this is section where, child page will render child page content, and this is the footer section. Okay, so that means this master layout will be fixed, only this section will be changed based on the routing. Okay, now this is, the whole about the design part, and this is style. I have used only, account wrapper. I have created one class. In this wrapper I added this piece of styles, and also I have that main wrapper, I mean main element. So in with that, main element, I have designed this piece of, I have written this piece of styles code. Okay, now here is nothing, and this logo, and this logo you can see here, this logo is coming from that bootstrap 5, and I already showed you that bootstrap 5 library has been added inside this index html as a reference. Okay, so as a reference I have added this. Okay, now close all the files. My next intention to this title should changed based on page. So now I am in login page, so this title should change as login. Okay, and if I go inside the forgot password, then that title should change with forgot password. So how do we achieve that? Let me go inside the code and let me go inside this login module. Okay, now can add enter to understand the properties properly. Okay, now I will add here title login page and save this. Open the browser. Now see, login page got, and a page title got changed with login page. Now in my upcoming video I will show you how do we concatenate the base title. Here is the base title. Along with this base title I will add the page title, so it would look like. Now save this page, open the browser, see the login angular 14 is the base title and the login page is the page title. Okay, so it will look like this way. Okay, but how do we achieve that? That part I will explain in my upcoming video. So now let me how to validate the form, and first let me add one reference in this form, that is called login form, and I will assign one class that is called ng form class. Now if I mouse over on this ng form reference, so now it is telling me like no directive found with export as ng form. So as this actually reference is part of the ng angular form native form, so it is not actually able finding out the definition of that. So let me go inside that login module, and here I can see that module is not added here. Okay, so let me add that what is called forms module, and this is part of angular forms. Okay, moment I added this, the error has gone. Okay, now it this reference actually got the ng form reference. Okay, now come to the email address part. Okay, and this field should be required, so that's what I added the html5, that attribute, required attribute. And this also password also is required. Okay, now let me come down a little bit. Okay, so now this button to be disabled until and unless user fill the inputs like mandatory fields like email and password. Okay, for that what I'll do, disabled attribute already is there, and I will, first of all I will check the ng form, I mean whatever controls inside this form is valid or not. Okay, for that I have that reference login form dot invalid. This login form actually is an object. This object is having invalid property. Okay, if any of the fields not containing any value, that means that field is invalid. And that if any control is invalid inside the form, that means form itself is invalid. Okay, and due to that I have added this part. If form is invalid, please disable this sign in button. Okay, now let me save this and open the browser, and see here actually button not disabling. Okay, so why, let me verify once. Okay, okay, so this is the login form reference, and oh sorry, I made one mistake, so I need to do that. So if you use this ng form as a reference inside this form, then if you add the ng model reference inside this on this input. Okay, so in order to do that, let me add here one login input object, login input object, and this input the type would be like login, sorry, email as string, password would be string, and the default value would be for email blank, and password also would be blank. So this is kind of variable declaration. Already I guess you guys are aware of this input object. Now let me go inside this here login email field. So I will add, first of all I will use the ng model, I mean to strongly bind with this that object. First of all I will add this ng model, and here I will attach that object login input dot email. Okay, so this login input and this email property. Okay, similar way I will use this for password as well, password, and here I will use the reference as email reference, and I will assign the value as ng model, password as well. Okay, now just save this and open the browser. Now see this sign in button got disabled, and until and unless I put the value in the required field, see now it is automatically enabled. Moment I put all the values required. if I remove the values, then button actually is getting again disabled. Okay, so this way actually I can add the validation functionality. And if you want, if I type something email, then the invalid email would show like that, then that regex pattern I should use. And inline validation, also I can use that. Okay, to in order to do that, let me go to the here, let's say one paragraph I will use. And inside this paragraph I will use one span element, and I will use this email reference star ng if I will use this directive. And if email reference is an has an error, I mean email reference has an error, and this email reference, if it is touched, until and unless user touch that fields, should not show any error message. Okay, now star ng if this email reference dot errors dot required. If it is errors is kind of required, it's called required from an index signature. Okay, then I have to put this way. Yeah, if this error is having required attribute, then I can easily say like email field is required. Okay, now save this, open the browser again, and if I touch it, now see email field is required. Okay, now this text color should show as danger, I mean red color. So for that I will use the bootstrap class text danger. Okay, now if I touch and click outside, then the email field is required, that validation is working. Okay, now if I use any regex pattern on this, let's say pattern, and I will find out some regex pattern. Like here I have one email regex pattern, I already searched it, so I will use this part. Okay, now I can, if this error is having pattern, I mean attribute, or you can say property, then I can tell invalid email sorry, email address. Okay, go to the browser, and if I touch, then first email field is required is telling. Now if I type something, then see invalid email address. Okay, now if I put at the rate, and suppose let's see dot com, then that validation is working fine. And if I put something here, then the button is getting enabled. Now if I if the field is invalid, then again button got disabled. So this way it will works as automatically. So I guess you understood the validation, how it works. And if you have any doubt or any concern, please do let me know by putting the comments inside the comment box. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.